When building Angular components, have you ever found yourself looking for a way to provide fallback content for projected content slots using the ng content element? If so, you've probably been able to find some workarounds to do it, but they're probably not something you really want to do. It would be better if this concept was built into the framework, right? Well, this is actually happening in the latest versions of Angular. In this video, I'll show you exactly how it works. All right, let's get to it. Okay, a little disclaimer before we get into this example. What you'll see here in this video will require Angular version 18 or above. If you're on an earlier version, unfortunately, you'll need to upgrade before you can use the techniques from this video. Okay, we're going to start with a demo application that we built for another example where we converted static string inputs over to attributes with the inject function and the host attribute token. If you haven't watched that video yet, you should definitely check it out next. For this example, we have an application built for the Vans clothing brand. We're going to be working with these two buttons here. We can see that the first button has two text regions. The first reads Shop Now, and the second reads Browse All Clothing. Then we have the labels on the second button that read Sign Up and Save Today. These two buttons use an existing button component. If we look at the code for this button, we can see that we have a primary label attribute and an optional secondary label attribute. Now, if we look at the template, here we can see we have a strong element that contains the string interpolated value of the primary label. And then if we have a secondary label, we output the string interpolated value of it within an M tag. Okay, so now that we know how it's working, let's take a look at the template for the page content component where the usages of these two buttons exist. Here's the code for the first button with its labels, and here is the second. So that's how these buttons are currently configured. But in this video, we're going to change this around a little bit. We're going to change these labels over to content slots with the ng content element, and then we're going to set those slots up to have fallback content when we don't provide content to the slots. Okay, so let's start by converting these labels over to slots. To do this, we need to start within the button component template. Let's add an ng content element. Now, on this element, we're going to add a select attribute, and we'll select the strong element. So this will now take a strong element contained within the open and close tags for the button component and project it here. Now we'll do the same for the secondary label, only this time we'll select an M tag instead. Next, let's remove the attributes from the code for this component since we're not using them anymore. Now we need to update the usages of these buttons in the page content component. For the first button, let's move the primary label string to a strong element within the button. And let's move the secondary label string to an M tag within the button as well. And now let's do the same for the second button. There. Now let's save and see how this looks. Nice. Nothing changed, so it looks like we got it right. Kind of boring so far though, right? But here's where the cool part comes in. Let's say that we use this button in several places, and most of the time we want it to have the text from the first button, Shop Now and Browse All Clothing. Then, sparingly, we will want to do what we're doing for the second button where we provide unique labels. This is now really easy to do. Let's just go into the template for the button component. Then, within the first slot, let's add a strong element with the text Shop Now. We can simply provide the fallback content that we want right in the slot now. Let's add an M tag in the second slot with the text Browse All Clothing. That's it. Now, if we don't include a strong element or an M tag, it will show what we have included here. Now, all that's left for us to do is to go and update the usage for the first button in the page content component. We can just remove the strong and M tags from within this button. Okay, now let's save and make sure it's working like we want. Perfect. It's all working great. Now, there is one thing to be aware of with this method. If the content provided to the slot is conditional, the fallback content will actually not be displayed. To illustrate this, if we take a look at the code for the page content component, you can see that I've added a new show signup label signal with an initial value of false. Let's switch over to the template and make the label content conditional based on the current value of this signal using an if statement. Then, just for demonstration purposes, let's toggle this value on click. Now let's save and see what happens. There. Now you can see since this value was false when the component was created, we have no value initially. Since we're now dynamically adding the slot, we no longer get fallback content. And if we click to toggle the value, then we see the sign up label. And when we toggle it again, it goes away. So just keep in mind that the fallback content will not work with dynamic slot content. So that's all pretty cool, right? We now have a native way to provide fallback content to projected content slots using the ng content element. No more crazy conditional logic is needed to do this type of thing. Okay, that's all for now. Until next time, thanks for watching.